Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, November 29, 2023, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Alright, let's kick things off talking about MJF's promo. In this promo, one of the things I really liked is that he put over Samoa Joe and TNA. As we all know, TNA had a shabby history, and it became Impact, and it's going to go back to TNA. So I'm really happy to see that MJF praised it, because TNA Impact Wrestling deserves a lot of credit. Seriously, they do. So he mentions how, when in the early 2000s, he got a poster from TNA Wrestling, and he tuned in. He couldn't be happier because he saw insane feats of athleticism and saw a new cast of pro wrestlers that he had never heard or seen before, which is true. It's like Impact Wrestling has a lot of great wrestlers. If people just give it a chance. You mentioned of what? If people would just give Impact Wrestling a chance, they would like it. Seriously, it's a lot of great wrestling. People complain about the women's division. Impact Wrestling has one of the best women's divisions of all time. That, not to mention that, the X division too. It's amazing. Seriously, people. I've said this when I used to review Impact Wrestling. I used to always say this, and I'll say it again. You gotta stop sleeping on Impact Wrestling. I know, given its past history and stuff like that, but hey, they've been around almost 20, 21 years now, 22. They're hard to kill. So I just absolutely love the fact that he put over TNA and Samoa Joe. So in regards to Samoa Joe, he says that Samoa Joe may have looked a bit unconventional, but no one cared every time Joe walked through those curtains, because he knew he was the baddest man on God's green earth. Now, he does say, and I quote, "Unfortunately, his talents weren't fully recognized, and he wasn't afforded the opportunity to be a world champion in WWE," which is true, and it's unfortunate. He was NXT champion, but he was just never given that opportunity to be a world champion. I personally think he should have been world champion, but he never was, which is, like I said, unfortunate. And he goes on to say that Samoa Joe proved that you don't have to be a massive male model bodybuilder to be a top guy in this sport, and that he broke the mold and proved alternatives could be better. And Samoa Joe paved the road for a guy like MJF to stand in front of us. Did he drop the ball, not making Samoa Joe a world champion, right? Exactly. So I absolutely love the fact. I mean, he praised Samoa Joe here. I've never Samoa Joe doesn't get as much praise, the praise that he deserves. Freaking phenomenal. I was really happy to see that. And he goes on to say that it was painful to admit, but he actually thanks Samoa Joe, and the crowd starts chanting, "Thanks, Joe, thanks." Now, of course, MJF mentions guys that he beat, like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega. And he also talks about how, agreed, Samoa Joe should have been WWE champion. I always rooted for him to win it, and while he was there. Same here. I rooted for Samoa Joe too. He should have beat Brock Lesnar. He should have defeated AJ Styles. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. He talks about how he was lucky to have been victorious and survived Samoa Joe. And on December 30th at World's End, we're going to find out if he can outlast Samoa Joe one more time. And it's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. So this was a really good promo on MJF. And the fact that he mentioned that WWE never gave Samoa Joe an opportunity to be champion probably means that he secretly resigned. So afterwards, the lights go out. I thought my feed went out during this. Seriously, because all of a sudden my feed went black. And I was like, did something happen? I literally, I used the app to watch AEW on East Coast time. So I disconnected my app. And then when I reconnected it, I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I wasn't the only one that it happened to. So when it went out, these words appeared. It says, "Are you a hero, Max? Next week's MJF and Samoa Joe, will you face an unknown in the tag team?" So, like, MJF ended up getting attacked by 4 guys, and Samoa Joe came to save him because you guys remember Samoa Joe said that he was going to be close to MJF for as long as he is champion and he's going to get that title shot. It was a part of the show. Yeah, I figured that out afterwards. But I still think, and it's a long shot, I still think the devil is Adam Cole. I know people probably, might think otherwise, but it has to be Adam Cole, right? Because like it's the one that makes the most sense. At least I think so. So I wonder if like the people are gonna like go out there and wrestle like dressed like that. Can they coexist, right? They're gonna do a can they coexist storyline. But nevertheless, this was a really great promo by MJF. Really enjoyed it. Like I said, massively put over Samoa Joe and TNA wrestling. So that warmed my heart. Okay, we also today on this episode found out where Sting's final match is going to take place. So Tony Schiavone announcing that AEW Revolution is going to take place on Sunday, March 3rd at the Greensboro Coliseum in North Carolina. I tried to do that like I tried to do that, but I couldn't do it. The North Carolina, like Justin Roberts. This is where Sting's finals match is going to take place, and they chose this for a very special reason because of the Ric Flair versus Sting match for the World Championship from 1988, and basically Sting and Flair come out, and that match was basically the first time they went 45 minutes commercial free, and it ended in a draw. And it took place over 35 years ago. Some people probably weren't even born. This is a nice little segment. I mean, Ric Flair basically ends the segment by saying that him, Sting, and AEW are going to Greensboro, and then they woo. So I still think Darby Allin should be Sting's final opponent for a Revolution. It would make sense to massively put him over, but that's just my opinion. If not Darby Allin, who else could be Sting's final opponent in AEW? All right. So we also get a Wardlow versus AR Fox, which basically was more about Wardlow than it was about AR Fox. I mean, this match didn't really go for it. Ended Wardlow won by referee stoppage. I know I'm going out of order here, but I want to keep the Continental Classic matches together. I said the same thing. Darby should have been Sting's final opponent. He should be, and I hope he is. Because, like I said, Ric Flair, no disrespect to him, but he should not be wrestling. I watched Ric Flair's last match last year, and I even did a review on Ric Flair's last match, and he should not be wrestling anymore. We get the trios match, the Hardys and Brother Zay versus Top Flight and Action Andretti's. Dante Martin's first match back since he got injured at Supercard of Honor way back in April. And he hasn't missed a beat. Like, I really like Top Flight. I also like the Hardys. And this was a really fun match. And at the end, Top Flight's about to be interviewed, and they get interrupted by Penta Cero Miedo. And he appears with Commander and El Hijo del Banquino. And honestly, I cannot wait for that match. That match is going to be amazing and full of action. Like Penta, Commander, El Hijo del Banquino, Top Flight, Action Andretti. Hell yeah. Hell, I wouldn't mind seeing that match twice. We get a TBS title match, Julia Hart versus Emi Sakura. This match wasn't bad. It was a House of Black rules match, and Emi Sakura picked no victory by submission. And, Julia Hart tried to put the Heartless on here, but she was unable to, win the match because of that stipulation, but she still finds a way to win after that moonsault. Glad that Top Flight is back, but how long until Dante gets injured again? I hope he does not get injured again. Do not put that out there, Ricky Bobby. And, Julia Hart is improving little by little. But again, like this match, good match, but is Julia Hart going to get a storyline? I mean, Chris Statlander's storyline was basically open challenges. What are we doing here, people? Like, you know, and we're still only getting one match. It seems like Mariah may make her in-ring debut soon because she was seen outside of Tony Khan's office, and then she goes inside. So she says she's starting to show AEW what she can do. So again, I know of her, but I'm not too familiar with her. I know she wrestled for Stardom, so I'm not too familiar with her work. We get a Christian Cage segment. So if you guys watch Collision, Adam Copeland challenged Christian Cage for that TNT title, and this was Christian Cage's response to Adam Copeland. Like, he came out there with security guards, and he basically tells the security guards to get out once Adam Copeland comes in. And basically, he tries to like reverse things on Adam Copeland. You guys remember when Adam Copeland came in, like, he wanted a tag with Christian, but Christian basically said, "Go fuck yourself." And this time around, Christian Cage was talking about how when they were kids, talking about their childhood, about Edge's dad, how his dad passed away, and how they went on to become the greatest tag team that ever lived, the multi-time tag team champions and multi-time world champions. I mean, it talks about how Edge was raised by a single mom, my bad, and that they weren't two random guys thrown together. And when Christian Cage also mentions that when Adam's mom passed away, she wanted to see them team together. So he suggests that they reunite and do it for Adam Copeland's mom. And in typical Christian Cage fashion, he tries to attack Adam Copeland with the title, but it looked like he low blowed him, and then he threw it back and said, "Go fuck yourself." So they're definitely the match is definitely happening next week, and I cannot wait for that. Seriously. Well, what do you guys think of this segment? Let me know in the comments. Fantastic segment with Copeland and Cage, right? Fantastic segment. So now let's get to the Continental Classic Gold Lead match. The first one was Jon Moxley versus Jay Lethal, which opened up. Bryan Danielson was on commentary for this. This was a great match, but it's no surprise Jon Moxley won, and he won by submission. I think this was probably one of the most predictable one of tonight's matches. But this was a good match. And well, Bryan was on commentary. He commented on Eddie Kingston's promo that happened. He was basically talking about how he's coming into the tournament with fire, and he will not be humble in victory or defeat, and he's coming in to become the first AEW Triple Crown champion because he's going to face Eddie Kingston. That should be a good match. The second match was predictable. New Mox was going to win. Yeah, that one was the most predictable one. It was still a good match, though. The Continental Classic Gold League, the second one was Rush versus Mark Briscoe. This was also a good match. And, Rush won this one. And then the third and final one, which was the main event, was actually Swerve Strickland versus Jay White. This one I was really looking forward to. I was not sure how this match was going to end. This was a fantastic match. Best match of the night with Rush and Briscoe. Yeah, that was one of the good matches. Now, I thought it was over when Swerve Strickland hit the stomp to Jay White, and Jay White was pretty much knocked out, but like he still managed to kick out. I was like, oh my god. And I kind of thought that Jay White was gonna win. But I'm really happy Swerve Strickland won here. Now, I have to say I was a little surprised by that because I kind of thought this match was going to end in a draw. I really thought that. I'm happy it didn't end in a draw. But, and I'm happy Swerve Strickland won. I mean, I think he should win this tournament. He's on a roll. He beat Hangman Adam Page twice. I think he should definitely go on to win this tournament. And then at the end, this is the final standing. It was Jon Moxley and Swerve Strickland with the most points. So I feel like they're going to be the ones to face each other. I think that's probably going to be the overall final, for at least for the gold lead. I can't wait to see who wins for the blue league. Let me see. I had the same feeling that it was going to end a draw, right? Like, I would think out of all the matches, that would have been the one to end in a draw. But no, he beat him clean. Jay White didn't look too happy about that. All right, well, that's it for the review. I'm just gonna go ahead and stop there. But I had to rate tonight's show on a scale from 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't a bad show. Awesome show. Yeah, I agree. It was definitely an awesome show. Again, like, there wasn't too much that I disliked on here. I really wasn't a huge fan of the Wardlow versus AR Fox match. I feel like if they would have let them go, that probably would have been a good match. But it was pretty much an enhancement match for Wardlow. I mean, because AR Fox can go. So I kind of wanted to see that, but we didn't get to see that. So, and also too, on Friday, my good friends over at the J Meacham Multiverse of Media are going to be doing a debate on CM Punk. So make sure you guys tune into that. As for myself, thank you. I'll be doing SmackDown. Definitely, for sure. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys Friday after SmackDown.